I've said basically the exact same thing. It's always work smarter, not harder. Uh, Levels help for HP, but in general, a better strategy will do you more help than a lot of grinding.
And it looks like they're off, getting those first checks in here in the Tycoon Castle.
Dream Harp
We've got
sells
them
for a
going.
lot, I think.
Dream Harp is pretty decent. I want to say it's one of the higher end sales items, so if nothing else, it should be useful for that, assuming they don't find Bard, where it's also a pretty decent piece of equipment for them.
I think the Dream Harp does 3/16 current HP as damage, which I guess that has some niche uses.
Yeah, so just to give a brief rundown here for those that may not be familiar with the particular settings. So we are on what are our standardized race settings for the Career Day Randomizer, meaning that they are starting with one of the 4 tablets needed to access the Void, the end game area. So they do only have to find 3 of those hidden around the world here. Additionally, just kind of standard rules apply, no skipping the second phase of the final boss. A few other basic things like that. But yeah, the big one is just only cutting down that 1 extra tablet, which in our sort of test runs sort of cut out roughly 30 to 45 minutes on a run. So it's a huge difference there.
It looks like a monk start and a lot of pretty good loot and information out of Tycoon Castle. Meteor bosses aren't useful. Spellblade having no value is very nice to know. Spellblade 4 and Drain Sword is also pretty handy. I think that will also give access to Break Sword if that turns up. And I saw, I think it was 12,000 gil, which means they can buy pretty much whatever they want.
There. Yeah, so Monk Start is actually pretty decent because Monk is actually an alright class for early game. They will definitely want to be hoping to find some better jobs out there as they get into the more mid to late game areas, though, because Monk does not hold up pretty bad.
Yeah, Monk is not fun to use at endgame scenarios, as most people who've done a 4-job Fiesta can attest to. Kind of end up either as a secondary of another job that happens to have more health, or an item thrower.
Looks like another 5,000 gil there in the tool barrel, so that's a whole lot of gil going into these early shopping runs.
High potions and elixirs and tool, that's handy. Don't know if we'll see Karma or Dryzalizer go back for that, but that's always possible.
Looks like we've got Sing as well in the Tool Magic Shop, which, depending on what songs you can find, can be a real game changer.
Mm-hmm. I also saw an Artemis bow, so if they can use that, that's a very good weapon. One of the highest attack values in the entire game.
Got some level 2 elemental sword magics there as well. Yeah, so we're getting some interesting notes there that also the chat is picking up on as well, it looks like. So we know that the second tablet is in World 3, and it looks like I think also you're correct that it looks like the Waltz Key might be locking that off based on the way the hints are going.
Karma just bought 2 Kaiser Knuckles, which is a very strong decision. It's not a bad accessory. It's going to be very helpful at the very beginning, but that might just be self-fodder later.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a good pickup when you've got a monk start there, just to get, that extra amount of little oomph on your monk attacks. But yeah, I mean, in the full scale of the game, it's going to turn into not really wasted GP, but not as useful as a lot of other pickups could be.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Genji Glove. That's not equipable by a monk.
It is not, but as soon as you get any class that can use that, that is straight up your defense on one character for pretty much the entirety of World 1 and a fair shake of World 2.
Mm-hmm. Dryzalizer is clearing out the Hiryu Valley. I think that's Hiryu Valley.
Oh, picked up
Uh,
equip harps there, actually, which could be kind of interesting with that dream harp. Again, early on, while it's not a great weapon overall, early on, that could make a bit of a difference.
yeah. And the Black Mage Crystal, which I didn't catch, that seems potentially very helpful. Obviously dependent on what spells turn up.
Yeah, it looks like folks are saying Black Mage was in Bone Mail spot, so yeah, that's a real good early class there, because I mean, honestly, real good class, period. Black Mage will just about carry you through most of the game as long as you get the right spells to back it up.
Mm-hmm. Notably, it has 2 different instant kill spells in Doom and Break. And I see a Panda in Drakenvale, and that's just immediate no chance. Level 1 party's not going to have any hope of surviving even a turn there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough break there, but again, some really good gear out of that area, so not a whole lot of wasted time.
IBKarma is doing the general route I prefer doing, which is kind of the Tycoon Castle, Pirate Cave tool licks, and then straight into Wind Shrine for that easy early boss. And a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
the path I
checks.
generally take too. Mostly following normal progression. Dryz, as you may notice, has a bit of a different path, actually doing a lot of World 2 crawling to get those free checks there, which can create a lot of better opportunity and in the long run get some better speed, just because pickups checks in this randomizer are weighted based on what their sort of original stuff was. So the World 2 checks are generally going to have a little bit higher quality gear than you're going to find in most of World 1.
Dark Suit from Chicken Knife. Looks like he's going to be checking what the Brave Blade spot will be and deciding from there. Dark Suit is pretty good. It has some, I think it gives an agility and a strength boost, as well as pretty solid defense.
A
But is
wall
that better
ring
than
and
a
Brave
wall
Blade.
ring?
It's a hard call because Dark Suit is probably more useful in general just for all the stat boosts and the pretty solid defense, but Wall Ring outright solves a couple bosses.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a tough call. Looks like he's going with the wall ring, which is definitely a safe bet.
Yeah, I can't say I fault him for that one. Just in general, the fact that it lets you skip essentially 2 or 3 bosses in the game, whereas Dark Suit is good, but definitely not S tier armor. I would probably go with the Wall Ring myself there as well.
I think the Dark Suit is the best armor that isn't like Mirage Vest for mid-weight characters, like the Monk. Yeah, Submarine Key in Wind
Fair
Shrine,
enough.
pretty
And let's
helpful.
see, we got
Equip rods, that we might see get used if rods turn up as a purchase item, because breaking a
yeah, that's a
rod
real good
solves
pickup there.
so many early bosses.
Now I will say, so Pyroman's in chat saying, playing with Monk, stop using Monk as soon as you can. That's not actually entirely accurate. Monk is a pretty decent class through about the first third of the game. Like, obviously there are some better choices if you can get them, but Monk is not terrible early game. It's not until mid to late game that it really drops off, but when it drops off hard and quick.
Bolt 3 sword available in a shop. I didn't catch which shop that is. I think that's Karnak?
Yeah, that's
No,
one of the Karnak shops there, I think.
yeah, no, that's Karnak.
Or no,
No, that's more.
that's not,
I think?
that's, yeah,
No,
more.
Ruger. I don't know. I don't know all the...
I don't memorize the town
Ooh,
layouts.
Ninja Crystal!
Okay, yeah, Rugor. Yeah, that's Rugor. Magic Shop has Bolt 3 sword, which, if you can get the sword magic to use it, is, again, a solution for a number of bosses. Basically, anything that has weakness to lightning is solved.
Yeah, Karma is switching a couple people over to Ninja, dependent on weapons, I think, and water scrolls were found in licks, the chat said, and ninjas with a magic ability throwing scrolls, that's damage that scales all the way through most of World 2.
Yeah, now also, keeping in mind there, we did catch that hint, sandworm bait in Ball Castle, which may or may not be useful.
Barrier tower on the path to the void. That submarine key that turned up is going to be helpful.
Looks like we've got Flame and Thunder Scrolls there as well on Dry's side, so... Looks like we are going to be definitely seeing some throw strats taking place.
Yeah. Big bridge on the path to the void. That's a lot of void hints at this point in the run. We might be on a pretty fast seed. Obviously dependent on what bosses are in the void and where stuff like the big bridge key actually is.
I mean, I will say, as we kind of mentioned as we were getting started here, if anyone's going to take a potentially fast seed and make it a definitely fast seed, it's these two racers.
Flash in, I think that's Ball Castle Basement. Break spell as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to make note of, since we know, well, we know, but Karma doesn't yet know where the Black Mage Crystal is at, so getting Black Mage and then access to Break pretty early can, again, shorten down a seed real good, because a lot of bosses don't have any resistance to that.
Mm-hmm. I would buy that immediately, whether I knew I was going to get the Black Magic ability or not.
Oh, absolutely, just on the off chance that I get either the ability or the class.
Mm-hmm. Especially because it's 4th level, so there's 4 different things that could give you that. The crystal itself for Black 4, Black 5, Black 6. Oh yeah, and as mentioned, I think Slash turned up, so we already have a good instant kill for non-heavy enemies. Heavy is a status or a flag of sorts that some bosses and enemies have that makes them immune to all sorts of instant kills and percentage damage attacks. A lot of the early bosses and even some late bosses just don't have that.
Yeah, so we'll obviously touch on it more as we get to seeing some of those bosses that can work on. But yeah, one of the interesting things, again, that sort of puzzle gamey nature of a lot of FF5 bosses is there are a lot of multi-phase bosses or bosses with different sort of things going on that have different weaknesses as the fight progresses. And some of those, even to the very end of the game bosses, have susceptibility to some of those instant kills when they're in certain modes.
Right, looks like we'll be seeing what Karma takes from the Wall Ring Dark Suit choice, if he elects to check both, which he will be
Go for a
doing.
reset there, so that's definitely checking both. Now, it will be interesting to see if he goes with the Dark Suit or the Wall Ring.
I think he'll be likely to go with the Wall Ring, partially just because he'll have that on the save and won't need to go back in and check this a 3rd time.
Yep, looks like hanging on to the Wall Ring there. Again, it's even as good an armor as the Dark Suit is, the Wall Ring just overall is a much better solution to some much more annoying things to deal with in this game. So it's kind of I think they both made the right choice there.
Oh, that's Mix.
Yeah, that's an immediate grab, no joke. And again, these are 2 racers who absolutely
and equip bow so they can use the Artemis bow that turned up. This is
turned
some
into a heck of a
crazy
seed.
Power already.
And yeah, these are 2 racers that definitely have that knowledge for.
Throw.
Yeah, they definitely have that knowledge for using Mix. Mix can be a bit of a stumbling point for a lot of people in this game, just because there's a lot of game knowledge that has to be known to kind of know what all the different mixes are. But if anybody knows it offhand, it would be these 2.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you just keep a
showcase race I did with Garlisle a week or so ago, I actually didn't buy Chemist when it turned up, just because I'm not totally comfortable using Mix, and I know a lot about this game. I'm not comfortable trying to use Mix yet. It's very tough to try to get balanced all the ingredients that you have and remember all the mixes. And the right mix for the situation can vary quite a bit.
Absolutely, and that is one of those things where it's I mean, I've played this game probably close on to 100 times at this point, and even I memorize about 3 of the mixes.
I think I know a bit more than that, but I couldn't tell you offhand. Looks like we're going to be seeing what's in Sealed Castle from both runners at the same time.
Oh, Freelancer. That's a solid entry there.
Yeah, Freelancer, Genji Armor. Oh, Summon 5. I would just grab Summon 5 immediately. Oh, this is a lot of hard choices.
Holy as well. Black 6.
Time 6.
White
White
6.
6. Yeah, White 6
This
and
is an
Holy is...
incredibly solid sealed castle, actually. We've also got Bahamut in there.
Yeah, this is the kind of Sealed Castle you come back to for 3 more things.
Absolutely. If only 3.
Yeah, Summon 5, White 6, and Holy for Karma. I think Dryzalizer is going to be doing something similar. Yeah, looks like he's going for the exact same set
Yeah,
of 3.
exact same set there.
Bahamut, Phoenix, Time 6, and Freelancer. There's still 4 more things, not counting the Genji armor, that I would want to go back for. That is
Yeah.
just crazy.
I mean, all told, if I'm already picking up Freelancer, I may as well grab Genji, because they can certainly use it.
Mm-hmm. Tyrannosaurus at Abductor spot. This is one of those bosses that has an instant kill. Just throw a Phoenix down and it dies. You get to avoid all sorts of fun counterattacks. That
That's going to be
looks
a
like...
huge chunk of levels on Karma there
Yeah,
as well.
it looks like 8 levels, if I counted correctly. So fortunately, you can just hold the confirm button through all that, and you don't have to mash. But yeah, with the sheer power level of these parties right now, I would not be surprised if we see a bunch more just steamrolled bosses in the early stages.
Yeah, this is absolutely shaping up to be a rocket seed here.
I think Apanda is weak against Holy, so that we know. I don't think Karma's the one who checked Drakenvale, so that fight might actually be winnable right now, which is crazy. Oh, okay. I was gonna say Karma's doing the EP check, and I was gonna say that's not usually worth it, but in this seed it is Time Mage. So if Haste turns up, that's honestly like a tripling of the party power level, because Haste is just that good in FF5.
I gotta say, with all the just real solid choices the game is handing to our racers here, I feel like on some level Karma's going to cause them to have just a brutal void, right?
Alright, Dancer and Charm Spell, that's probably worth getting. Charm answers a few bosses. In particular, I know Ifrit is vulnerable to Charm. Just offhand, I've used that in the Fiesta run before. But Dancer, yep, Karma buys Dancer, so that's crazy physical burst damage, potentially. This is... There's almost
like,
too much good stuff.
Yeah, it looks like Dryz is setting up all the black mages with white magic as their secondary, which is not a bad call at all.
Especially because Holy is the offense right now. Holy's one drawback compared to most black spells is that it can't be multi-target, and as we know, that's going to slow down the Sergeant fight here a little bit. Still, I think the right move.
can't be multi-targeted, asterisk.
Okay, there is the mix and X magic stuff, but... Oh, he doesn't have the MP for it!
Yeah, that is the unfortunate trigger there. Now, if he had gold hairpin, I believe he would have 1 casting for it, but default
there'd
holding
be...
is 20.
Looks like Drain's gonna do the job anyway. I think this is one of the fights that's vulnerable to break.
Yes, in Sergeant form, I believe that is correct. That being said, the other thing to remember is that in an instance like this, it's not too rough a fight just because the HP of this spot is essentially spread over all the combatants, so it makes it a real easy...
No, the main boss, I've noticed the main boss has whatever the health of the boss that's originally there is, which I know Wing Raptor is 250, so Sergeant would have 250 and the Karnax would have like 100 or something.
I might be thinking of old builds then.
Yeah,
that being said, even at this point, 250 is not a whole lot to get through when you've got access to things like Drain.
Yeah, otherwise the Puraburros spot would just be a nightmare with effectively 9,000 health there. But at the same time,
That's
the Puraburros, all of them have the health of that spot, of the spot they're randomized to. So,
yeah, Dryzalizer might have the right
vulnerable.
of there. I might be thinking if it's more along the lines of something like the triplets where they're all technically the boss.
Karma's going for the Panda fight.
I mean, he's got flame scrolls to throw, which is going to make a difference. He's got fire 2, which is going to be a solid hit on a Panda there.
Yeah, this spot has 12,000 health offhand, and that's 27,000 or 2,700 damage already. I don't know how many Phoenix downs.
Nope, just went for the quick reset, soft reset off of that one. Cannot fault him there.
Do the soft reset because I actually didn't know that was a thing in this game.
I want to say it's pause, then hold LR, start, and select, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't really do it myself that often, generally because I just have, emulator triggers set up. But I believe soft reset is LR, start, select while paused.
All right, well,
and essentially just kills your whole party.
Yeah, Dry's taking down Biblos with Drain in Tool Pass, which...
See how you like it.
Karma. Didn't catch where the Catastrophe boss Karma's fighting. Oh, Javelins. Yep, Javelins are a cheap thing with high attack value.
High damage off throw. Yeah, very good pickup there with throw ability available.
Very winnable fight, obviously. 2 throws did it.
Yeah, so that's one of the meteor ones. Got Shout out of it, which can be alright, but is a little... I mean, we already know that Break is available, so it's a little bit more reliable, I feel.
Yeah, I think the Shout is slightly better accuracy. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But it is nice to have that Petrify option on 2 different abilities, especially as we know both of those
we already
are
have
available.
Summon 5. Yeah.
Ooh, a Hunter Crystal in... Where is that? Carwin. That is... Looks like Karma's passing it up. I personally wouldn't pass that up, but I like going for the X-Fight strategy for most of the game.
For me, I would probably...
be X-Fight and Dance.
Conjure there as an available ability, which again, depending upon what summons you pick up, can be a real power strat.
Dragon just outright gets the Dance ability, so it doesn't have to worry about buying Dancer to use that.
Yeah, good point made, as I do believe Karma actually sold a lot of their bows earlier, which means that they're a little bit less well-equipped for Hunter at this point as well.
It's always hard to know what's good to sell and what isn't good to sell. Can't really fault that decision, though. Like, there's so many other power options here, especially with Mix on the table.
Got a Mute Sword pickup there. So that's pretty solid. That'll shut down any surprise Omnis that show up.
Surprise Omniscient is the worst. Even more importantly, that shuts down a Void Omniscient completely. The Mute Sword never misses. It doesn't matter what the party is, you still win.
Hey, I will have no disrespect for roulette in this chat. It works at least 1/5 of the time.
So Dry takes down the Adamantine Turtle, whatever. The ship graveyard gets the Moogle suit. It'll be interesting to see when the Moogle village gets checked.
Hey, I mean, Pyromance has a point there. I should rephrase that. Roulette absolutely works 100% of the time. It just works on who you want it to at least 1/5 of the time.
Looks like the Moogle village check is right now. And I saw Karma got the Chemist Crystal, which doesn't really matter since Mix was already available.
Yeah, I mean, Mix is all you really want off a Chemist. It has some other kind of okay abilities, but Mix is the big deal there.
One of the Gilgamesh fights. I think that was Gilgamesh 1. Yep. There goes Gilgamesh 1.
Magic Sword 6, X-Fight, and Guild Toss. This game is solved.
Yeah, this is a boss rush now. Like, the Dry almost doesn't need to check anything else at this point. Mix plus Guild Toss solves everything. X-Fight solves everything. Freelancer lets you get both on one. Can give somebody black and white and black-white time for instant kills and haste and stuff. This is just insane.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as find one more tablet there in order to go get Freelancer, I mean, this game is over.
The Freelancer does have one interesting point. Do you want to master a class before switching to Freelancer? I would probably master Ninja, honestly. Just because Ninja has very good stats.
It also comes down to a lot of questions kind of on, like, you know, what you're going to have the actual setup be. So for whatever Freelancer I was throwing black and white on, I might think about doing Black Mage, like mastering that. Although in that case, I would probably just kind of run Black Mage and throw white on them, frankly.
Yeah, you don't even need to master a Mage class for the stat. Just because equipping the ability equips the stat itself.
That's true. I always forget that part. Yeah, so, no, I mean, Ninja maybe, but I think a lot of it comes down to how close I would be to mastering Ninja by the time I actually got to, got that second tablet. If I get Freelancer early enough on, I might switch to that just to power through the game. Oh, a gold hairpin from Karlabos spot there, which is going to make that Holy a lot more useful.
Yeah, as is being pointed out in the chat, Mastering Ninja also passes on Dual Wield to the Freelancer, which Dual Wield X-Fight is 8 hits.
And yeah, I mean, slightly reduced damage on each hit, but that's still enough for almost any physical susceptible boss.
Other big advantage of X-Fight is it ignores enemy defense. Half damage of a regular attack, but ignores defense, so it's often better than 2 regular attacks. And it bypasses any weapon proc effects like Chicken Knife's Run. So it just... The one drawback, especially in this kind of setting, is that actually sitting through 8 attacks is slow. It's one of the bigger advantages of Throw. The animation is fast, and on this kind of seed, it matters how fast the attack animations are.
Yeah, all told, I think Pyroman's chat there has it right. All told, for most instances, Holy is probably the faster strat than dual wield X fight, just because dual wield X fight may be overkill on a lot of bosses, whereas Holy is going to be a faster animation, which is exceedingly odd to say considering how long Holy's animation actually is. But you just get that one out there, and it's going to take out most early bosses.
You gotta remember, we also have Gill Toss in play, which is even faster, and Throw, which is Thunder Scrolls especially are very fast. So Holy's not even a very fast option here.
Gill Toss can definitely get up there as long as they start getting a decent amount of money. It looks like Karma's going for the Moogle Village check now, so also going to find out just how rocket this seed actually is.
He's gonna lose his mind. I did see Dry in his inventory. Has a lot of, I think, Revivify or Holy Water and Antidotes. If I remember right, mixing those increases the target's level by 10, which will, boost Gill Toss. And he did keep his Artemis bow, so he might also go Hunter X fight for a while. Like, this seed is so good, we might see different strategies, and they're both totally workable. Not just trying to find something that works. I think everybody's probably losing their minds here.
Yeah, like I'm honestly like I'm sitting here boggling at what I would even try and do if I hit this seed. Like, it's so powerful. Like, I don't even. Oh, we got a break off on the Chimera Brain there. That's actually a really good hit. Makes that fight basically
Frank's page
nothing.
Isn't that valuable.
In any other seed, it would probably have a little bit more value, if nothing else, than for some checks. But with everything we've got on this seed, there's no reason to ever even go there.
Liquid Flame, I think, is also vulnerable to break, or you can just, X fight, and that's gonna kill because Magister's spot.
Oh yeah, that spot, not a chance.
So one shot. See if Karma goes for break or other damage.
Got the Adamantite out of Magissa spot, so the Floating Ruins is now available.
Yeah, I can't fault Karma for passing up every chest at this point. It's probably worth opening ones that are like right on the way in case there's money for Gill Toss, but they're set. Like, this is just over. Mix and Gill Toss solves the final boss, and there's tools for everything else along the way. And we know meteors don't have progression either. So, do you think we'll see a fastest ever seed on this, or?
We might be hitting new world record on this, honestly. Like, especially with these two racers, I can't imagine this coming in much past mid-1.
Yeah, it's like... I don't know.
The only thing I think it stopped is bad tablet spot. Because we do already know that at least one Path of the Void is locked behind, because we know Big Bridge is on Path of the Void, which means they got to find Big Bridge Key, so that's at least a 2-chain.
Apparently somebody saw Haste. I think Dry must have saw Haste. Haste 2, even. Which, I don't know, is it even worth casting that at this point?
It's a tough call, honestly, because realistically, so much of the stuff we face at this point, you're not going to need anybody to really even get a second turn, so...
Yeah,
Fire 3 there in the chest on Karma's side.
Fire 3, normally, that's nice, really good damage, but on this seed, who even cares?
Try and get the break off on Crayclaw here, it looks like.
spot only has about, I think, 5,000 health. Ah, there's the haste 2 cast.
And the
There's
break
the
goes
break
off.
hitting.
Galef will unfortunately not get the levels off of that, but at the same time, it can sometimes be alright to desync a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter all that much. The bigger thing here, I think, is... crap, what was I gonna say?
I don't even know, man. This seed has been so powerful. It's shattering both of us. Like, I don't even know how to comment on something like this. It's just, wow. That's all I got.
It's unfortunate seeing a lot of the bosses that are vulnerable to instant kills early. You really want those to show up in the void, or in the spots that have more health, just so you don't have to deal with that dealing that extra damage. Because an instant kill is an instant kill.
Yeah, those are both good points brought up in chat there. There's some questions about why the bosses have so little HP. Yeah, there's two things going on here. One, bosses inherit the HP and stats of the spot they're in, which means since they're facing lower level spots, the bosses have lower HP. But also for most of the bosses we've seen them fight in the past a little bit here, HP doesn't matter. They're going for instant kill strats.
Yeah. It's one of the really cool things about this randomizer. You can fight like early game bosses that are not usually a threat in very threatening places, and vice versa. You can just steamroll over really annoying bosses in one hit.
And sometimes you get Go-Go in the Necrophobe spot and you die laughing.
Go-Go's an interesting point. Will these runners, if they encounter Go-Go, try to
Just
fight
go
through?
for powering him down? I mean, with everything they've got, it's easily doable, honestly.
It's probably faster, but do they probably both know how to win that fight. I don't know how to beat Go-Go straight up.
I think a lot of it comes down to what spot you find him in, because if it's in one of the, like, if Go-Go's somewhere in the void, it still might not actually be faster to try and power through.
Somebody got the Brave Blade, didn't catch that. But they don't have Knight, they don't have Equipped Sword. It's just another weapon to throw. If you even... Oh, you can't even throw it, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think Brave Blade is actually throw capable.
Gargoyles at Ifrit spot.
Yeah, Karma does, I believe, have Equipped Sword, and also, as is pointed out, as soon as they get another tablet, they've got Freelancer, which can absolutely equip that Brave Blade.
Again, is it even worth doing that?
I mean, Brave Blade, Genji Armor, Genji Glove, X-Fight Freelancer? That's going to solve a lot of problems, although, again, animation time. Ugh.
Level boost, skill toss. Ooh,
oh, and a wipe on
unfortunate
Karma's
wipe.
side because Red Dragons suck.
Yeah, Red Dragons, they have a lot of weaknesses, but if you don't have a way of taking them out, they will mess you up.
I mean, as Pyromance does point out, they are technically classified as undead.
The weakness that is usually used on them is the fact that they're weak against ice. I think they're also weak against earth, but how often does that come up?
Yeah, they are also weak to getting
Field.
holied in the face, because they are undead.
Holy weakness is actually different from undead weakness, or from being
Is it
undead.
now?
Yes, but I think they are weak against holy in any case.
I think a lot of the undead enemies must also have holy weakness then, just because it makes sense. And I know that almost every undead boss absolutely is weak to holy.
I know that one of the unknown enemies in the Great Sea Trench is neutral against holy, because I got screwed by that at one point.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a holy off on the Red Dragon here.
Alright, let's see how much damage this is. And just 2,000, that's
2K?
definitely not weak. I mean,
Yeah.
2,000's good, but I've seen like 6k against a red dragon from Ice 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
They melt.
Means that we're getting a Shiva off here, so...
Interestingly, I'm surprised Karma doesn't have a wall ring on, because Atomic Ray is reflectable. You know, it's not like you need to worry. I guess bouncing haste is a potential issue, but it's also not like you need to worry about bouncing cure.
Someone in chat saying he sold his wall ring.
Oh, sold the wall ring. Well then, that's 10k, but yeah, we'll see.
To get mixed. Yeah, that's fair.
This just goes by so fast at this party.
Karma is the one that faced Catastrophe already.
Looks like Karma's focusing on World 2 bosses, while Dry is focusing more on the World 1 bosses. So really, this is going to come down to who finds tablets first.
Yeah, I mean, my
Karma's
personal
taking
take on
advantage
it,
of that World 2 man. Tablet 3 is in World 2 somewhere.
yeah, but I mean, realistically, my perspective, I'd be going with Dry's strategy here, just because World 1 boss spots are going to be a lot quicker generally, so I can clear out more of them in the time it would take me to clear out any given World 2 boss.
Yeah, Karma might be banking on just no tablets in World 1.
Which is a definite possibility, but we'll see how that pays out for both of them here.
Yeah, Barrier Tower was Path of the Void, as was pointed out.
This again is actually one of the interesting things that is going to be really interesting just because of how much power. Oh, Bracelet out of the Crayclaw spot there. So that's pretty good, actually. That can open up a lot of stuff there with the Bracelet.
That is not one of the mandatory items. That just opens up more force, yes? Oh, there's Go-Go! So, Go-Go out of Tomos, that is about 20k health. I don't know. Is it worth the wait?
I guess we'll see now if Karma goes for it or just waits it out.
So, funny thing about Go-Go is you can actually haste Go-Go to speed up the wait. So we'll see if Karma does that. Probably. Oh.
Nope, looks like he is just going to straight wait it out, which, fair enough.
That's probably costing about a minute.
Looks like Dryz is now heading off to World 2 to start doing some checks there.
Looks like Ball Castle. I wouldn't be surprised if, given the hints, he goes straight off to Barrier Tower after this. I do like his use of a tent there. Always nice to just tent up back to full. They're cheap, they're effective, and the animation was shortened for the randomizer.
Alright, so Go-Go is clear, and now it's time to see if that Path to the Void hint was just one in a chain, or if it's actually a tablet out of here.
I mean, if it is a tablet, do you even go back to Sealed Castle right now? I mean, I know Freelancer's there, but, like, this is a party that might already just be set.
That is a tough call, actually. Nope, anti-barrier.
Fitting. Well, that's Path of the Void. It's not a tablet, but Karma's probably going to go straight for X-Death at this point. Yeah.
Looks that way.
Level 25, like mid-20s, after the boss is inside X-Death's castle. That's plenty for the big guy. And X-Death is weak against Holy. Oh, no bracelet?
Yeah, does not have a bracelet.
Oh, I thought bracelet was for more.
Nope, you need both bracelet and it will not change to meat fork without bracelet.
Alright. Bracelet was what? Crayclaw spot?
Yep, that was Crayclaw spot, which that might take a while to check, honestly. It's pretty low on my list of priorities when I'm running through World 1 bosses.
Yeah. Especially with meteors being barren. Because the main reason I head over there is like, okay, I'm going to clear all the meteors now. So you go to Gone, run through that to get that meteor available. Yeah, Steamship key.
It looks like Karma's going to go run Steamship, which I don't know how I feel about that choice, honestly. That's a lot of time investment for not really guaranteed reward at this point.
Especially because Karnak Castle is, like, based on what we've seen, Karnak Castle is probably junk. But more importantly here, I mean, it is 2 bosses. The worst. But that Steamship key might end up being a distraction.
We've got Dry going through the underground waterway now as well, so he's going to pick up a lot of those, Haste 2 there, and a lot of those other power tools that were down there.
I think Karma's cleared more bosses at this point. But
as far as who's closer, I mean, I think they're roughly tied, honestly, because each one has the same number of tablets and one part of the other Go mode, sort of switch there, so it's really hard to call right now.
I'd almost give the advantage to Dry here, just because he has the bracelet. He knows barrier towers on the Path of the Void, and that's where the anti-barrier was.
Ooh, and a carbuncle fight here at Liquid Flame, which can be pretty rough.
3,600 health, or wait until 3 attacks in a bit and then throw an instant kill. Gotta love the instant kill.
I think the big concern there is the current party composition. Very magic heavy, which means his only real option other than that weight is getting a throw out, hopefully dealing enough damage, but will the party last that long?
Yeah, that's been 3 attacks. They're all single target.
Gets the break off, so all good.
So Dry's going for a panda. He's already
Elder Branch out of there, so no good off a carbuncle.
Oh, that's another potential distraction too, if more forest isn't necessary. That's what I was mixing up with the bracelet.
I guess we'll have to see what comes off of the Karnak 500 here to see whether or not Karma has just wasted a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I'd say whoever's in the lead is going to depend on if this key item chain leads to a tablet or not.
I think really the only thing I could give for Karma here is it may be worth it. I guess checking the rest of these chests for money for Guild Toss maybe, but depending upon if there's something really, another insanely good piece of gear in, say, one of these the Monster in a Box chests here in Karnak, it's about the only thing I could think that would make it worth it, unless there's something worthwhile out of the boss at the end here.
Yeah, it's like they don't need any job crystals, really. Don't need weapons, really. Dry's just Flame Shield's not bad, but it's not really a shield kind of seed here. Power Staff might be potential cheese. And it inflicts Berserk, which, you know, helps with a few fights. Yeah, and Flame Shield is 20k, as is pointed out.
Rainbow Suit there could be okay if you were going for Dancer strats, but really not necessary on this run.
Yeah, not at all. And Siren's another easily killable fight.
Gets the break off first try.
Dry took out a Panda with a combination of fire spells and...
Oh, Lamia's Tiara was the reward for Deathclaw spot there. That was Blue Mage, okay.
Yeah, sure, why not have Blue Mage? Blue Mage is fine.
I mean, again, it's just one of those things of, do you really even need it on this seed?
I mean, maybe. Like, if you find a couple abilities, not that you're really looking for abilities, but if you find them...
Yeah, I mean, my big thing is on all their run-through so far, I haven't seen White Wind or Mighty Guard anywhere, so... Definitely strips down a lot of the endgame potential for Blue Mage. Chat does bring up technically if he runs into Apocalypse, he's set because he does have Exploder, but that's again one of those, since you don't know what spot people are going to be in, it would be a reset to make sure that you were set up for that, and honestly, with everything else he's got going already in this seed, I don't think it's necessary to cause Apoc to take the funniest boss death in this game.
These two don't seem to be saving before most boss fights either. Maybe Dry is, and I'm just not noticing.
As Dry's immediately saves before Garula spot, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, there was definitely not a lot. I think I've seen them skip at least a few of those save spots. Granted, mostly the lower ones where I don't think it's necessarily as much of a risk, but... And yeah, Karma going through Guardian Forest now as well, which, again, like you said, that Elder Branch is a distraction. We'll see if it pays out, but I don't feel like it's going to.
There's not many places left for, what is it? The Tablet 3 and World 2. It could be the Big Bridge, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is we know for a fact Big Bridge is on Path of the Void, so...
There goes Puroboros. Always nice to see them at a relatively low health location.
Alright, so here you call there, which gets him access to the fleet, I guess.
Was that a vanilla flame tongue?
I think it might have been. Is this even randomized?
I think so. I'm pretty sure there's not a Warhammer job.
Alright, nothing great out of Crystal there for Dryz, I don't think, but... If nothing else, at least... I was gonna say, if nothing else, at least Walt's Tower is not nearly as bad a time sink as Steamship and Karnak there was.
Yeah, seems like Knight, but... I mean, Knight isn't even that good relative to what these runners already have. Like, that's the insane part.
I mean, especially considering that we already know as soon as another tablet's gotten, we can get Freelancer, which is going to get us the equipment, and none of the Knight abilities are really that great.
And double grip or two-handed or whatever you want to call it is nice, like very nice. But you know, it doesn't really matter if you're not using physical damage. And they're not using physical damage. It's just not necessary.
Yeah, so it looks like we got Califasteri in the Guardian spot, which is rough, but not the worst it could be.
Dry is going to be taking out the monsters in a box.
Now, what's
I don't think
interesting
he has
is
Slash.
I don't think he does either. But what's interesting here is that Dryz is going to be taking on the barrier tower here, which, as we know, has anti-barrier at the top. So he actually does have the potential to go right for Castle X death.
I think that would be the play at that point. Like, I really do think that would be the play. You know, there's several bosses in there.
At this point, even though we know one of the tablets is in World 2, it opens up some more options to get to World 3. And I believe, if I recall correctly, we saw a hint as well about World 3 having something on Path of the Void.
So this is one of those places where Karma having Slash really came in handy. It just makes a joke of the yellow dragons, and Dry has to fight them directly.
Yeah, Dry not having Slash is making these a lot harder fight than they would otherwise be. Meanwhile, Califusteria over here is taking a million years, as she usually does.
What a troll. Most of the Void bosses are trolls, honestly. The chest enemy sets are random. Every time you open the chest, it pulls from an encounter pool. So if you don't, say if you only want to fight red dragons, because you can't handle the yellows for whatever reason, you can actually just run away and open the chest again, and it might be a different set of dragons.
Yeah, so to more accurately address the question there, though, I think what was being asked was mostly as if there's randomization of what's in those chests.
Oh, yeah.
No, those encounter pool tables were not actually randomized for Career Day. The enemy encounter tables are not actually randomized at all. It's only bosses.
And which encounters are the monsters in a box is also randomized. So in Dry's position, personally, I would probably just run away from the yellow dragons, re-roll for the red, because I think the red is a lot more easily killable with this party.
Yeah, but Dry's sticking it out, so, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's going to take more time, more of a resource drain, but again, given that as soon as Dryz reaches the top of this tower, he's going to be on a straight shot for World 3. I don't know if that time loss is going to make much of a difference. Especially, that'll also depend a lot on whether or not this this venture into the Guardian Forest actually pays off for Karma.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns here still. Very interesting to see how this develops. For how many checks they've done, the fact that we haven't seen a single tableau is kind of crazy.
Alright, so Califusteria is going down, so I guess we will see if that fight was worth it.
Mirage Radar, maybe.
Which is great as soon as you can get to World 3.
Maybe useful. Probably not worth the investment of that fight unless the Bahamut spot has a tablet, but you never know. It's like, what could Mirage even have that's useful at this point?
Ragnarok? I don't even know, man. Abductor and Soul Cannon spot here.
Well, that's good. This is a high HP spot, and Abductor can be killed without going through his HP.
Yeah, this is a high HP spot, and frankly, Abductor's kind of a joke. There goes the break.
As Freda points out in the chat, Mighty Guard, like, it's a bunch of blue magic that could show up in Mirage that might be worth it. I don't think Cure 3 matters too much, though. I really don't. I think just Phoenix Downs and throwing high potions would be enough for these parties.
Yeah, I think really the only thing as far as Mirage goes is just the density of shops makes it at least kind of worth a check. But I don't even, in this seed, I don't even know what I'd be looking for in those shops.
Yeah, honestly, like, I think in my case, if I was running this, I wouldn't go to the Mirage shops. I'd just take the Chocobo if I went there, go straight for Bahamut.
Yeah, I mean...
Tablets can only appear on bosses.
Yeah, I mean... yeah, as people point out, like, maybe like White Wind or Mighty Guard?
Running shoes. I changed my mind. I'd check everything for running shoes. Running shoes are the single best item in the entire game. Not even a question.
Fair enough, but I mean, I would maybe, like, I'm not gonna delay hit and go mode to try and find running shoes, really. Ooh, Necrophobe here in Archaeo Ava's spot. This could be a slog. And yeah, it looks like both competitors at this point have chosen to just wait out Go-Go, which, I mean, again, fair enough, although I really do feel like they may have been powerful enough to plow through him, but it's definitely a risk, just with especially the low HP they've got going right now.
I don't think Dry could have done it right now, honestly. I don't think his party's set up to go for it. I do find it interesting that they've basically gone for almost the same setup here. 2 Black Mages, a Ninja, and then Karma's got a Time Mage, and Dry's got a Ranger.
And I think a lot of that comes down to I don't think Dry's sold off their bows, the strong bows they got early on, which makes Ranger a much more viable class. And yeah, Dry making a beeline for Castle X-Death here.
I mean, it's right there, and with Anti-Barrier and Bracelet, no reason not to. He can definitely take down X-Death. X-Death, as mentioned, is weak to Holy. That should be doing like 5,000, so... I don't know if you know this, but 5,000 is a lot of damage when X-Death only has 33.
Yeah, checking Castle X-Death basement first, which, I mean, fair check.
I mean, there's a tablet in World 2. You never know where it might be.
And as long as you got to run through here anyways, a quick, single fight, but... Yeah, got Breaksword out of Lanka Ruins, but other than that, ugh.
Wasn't Breaksword available for purchase? I feel like it was available for purchase an hour ago.
I think we saw Break, but not Breaksword. We saw some other pretty good magic swords, but I don't think we ever saw Breaksword for sale.
Well,
regardless, yeah, it's
all my guess.
Okay, looks like Karma is about to go hit Catapult, so we'll have the ability to hit Meat for it as well. But yeah, that's just Karma has spent a lot of time on sort of side quests that have not paid off.
Yeah, both runners have their parties at roughly equal power levels. Like, I'm just going based off character levels for this. I feel like that's a pretty decent estimation of how much they've done. Because it's so hard to keep track of what both of them have fought right now. There's Condemn for Dry. So yeah, that's been worth using.
Yeah, as Windfox is pointing out, yeah, like Karma has actually cleared a lot more bosses than Dry has, but is really is gonna end up being pretty close behind him on Castle X-Death here, it looks like. So it's still a pretty tight race. It's just, honestly, Karma has spent a lot of time pursuing things that did not really give any decent reward.
I like this. I like damage floor ability coming in here. I'm pretty sure I saw Float turn up, so it could have used Dimension Time Magic and Float to do the same. But sometimes Float would also help if Titan just randomly shows up.
Yeah, I mean, it's also theoretically useful against Catastrophe, but Catastrophe is in a spot in this one that's not really a big deal, so...
Mistimed platform for gold armor and then a mithril staff. Fun fact about the mithril staff. You actually cannot get one in vanilla, ever.
Got a wizard rod there, which is not a bad pickup considering how many black mages they're running in party.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they're still running black mages at this point, honestly. There's been other jobs that have turned up, and like, there's black mage masteries, so kind of surprised it's not switching to another job and equipping black. So it looks like Dry's going to go for the save before checking Carbuncle spot.
Again, not a bad call there. Get a tent in, get a save in, because you never know what could turn up in that Carbuncle spot, and it would be real awful right now to face a wipe.
In terms of scary fights we still haven't seen, on either side, we haven't seen Minotaur, we haven't seen Omniscient. We haven't seen... Twintani's not scary because they got instant kills.
Oh, it's Greg too. We're fine.
Yeah, this should be easy enough.
I mean, the spot has a decent amount of HP, but not too threatening with Greg there.
You know what else we haven't seen that might be annoying? Karlabos. Because Karlabos is not vulnerable to, like, any status for some reason.
Yeah, late Carl can be surprisingly rough.
Mystic Knight Crystal for Karma. Yeah, there's the switch.
Yeah, an immediate, just absolute slam the button there. Especially with the ridiculous sword magics that have been found so far in this seed.
Galura is vulnerable to instant kills of all sorts.
Yeah, so this is a done fight. This is solved.
Which is good. This spot has a ton of health.
Yeah, and gonna hit like a truck. Oh. The shoat goes off.
I like that choice of Break Spellblade for the definitely. Puts an upper bound on how long the fight can take.
Big bridge key right there, so that's a guaranteed progress along the path of the void. And at this point, I feel fairly certain that's gotta be the tablet, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Between the two racers, can't think of many spots left in World 2 we haven't seen.
Just wow. Yeah, I like Karma's party setup quite a bit. He's got a lot of coverage. Like, it won't by fast enough that I can't really tell exactly what it is, but I think he's got access to blue, white, black, summon time, like everything. Notably here, Karma entered Xdeath's castle second, and is already on Xdeath first. So Dry's lack of instant kills is really coming back to bite him here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I said earlier, 5k from Holy.
Yeah, no, Karma's just coming into this, just absolutely gonna blast down Xdeath here. Not even a question. Looks like Dry is going for a reset here to probably rejigger party setup before taking on that Galura fight.
Kind of surprised he wouldn't just go for break on the black magic here.
Yeah, I'm honestly not entirely sure what he's rejiggering for, unless he didn't pick up break, but I'm almost certain he did.
Yeah, holy might as well be an instant kill against X Death.
Actually, I'm not sure Dry's actually got break. I cannot for the life of me imagine he'd be thinking this hard about it if he had break.
I think Condemn would work, but does he have blue?
I don't think he got blue either.
Is he actually going to be fighting Galura straight up?
I think he's going with the killer bow. It was actually kind of painful to say that. Oh, and Guardians at Big Bridge.
They are vulnerable to instant death. I don't think they're vulnerable to Petrify, because that is a point well after you have Petrify. Or, you know, straight up damage. That works too. Except, haha. Somebody forgot that you can only use the element of the crystals against the crystals.
Got the killer bow instant kill off on Galura there. So that's
nice. That's 8% or something.
Yeah, that's gonna save a lot of headache.
Smart play from Karma, using Fire 3 to just target the water crystal and then be able to use Aqua Rake to damage the rest.
Still going to be a bit of a slog, though, because Aqua Rake is not doing a whole lot of damage. It was about mid-5s there.
Mid-5s are fine here, honestly. This spot doesn't have a lot of health. So, notably here, neither runner has mix. Like they both have it, I think, and neither of them are using it.
I'm not that surprised at it. I mean, at this point where they're currently at, it's not super necessary. I think we'll start seeing it a lot more once they get to the Void.
I just did the math on X-Fight with the Killer Bow. Assuming I'm remembering right, and it is 8% per attack, and Killer Bow X-Fight works, then it's a 28% chance for at least one Killer Bow proc.
And yeah, that was the tablet off of Big Bridge, so that is a World 2 tablet and also verifying Big Bridge was Path of the Void. Now, whether or not there's another World 2 tablet could be in question, but given how much of World 2's boss checks we've seen so far, I'm starting to think we might have an almost all World 3 tablet set.
Surprised Karma's doing job shuffling now, because we know Freelancer's up there. Maybe he's not thinking of getting Freelancer?
Either that or may just be planning on going for some more job masteries before switching to free. Yeah, because makes a beeline for the job crystal.
Yeah.
Obviously taking Bahamut there.
And not Phoenix. Phoenix is a reasonable choice, but going for the Genji armor instead. I wonder if we'll see him come back here after Tablet 2.
Entirely possible. I mean, again, as we kind of noted the first time they went to check this sealed castle has enough good stuff that it's absolutely worth it coming back for 3 tablets.
Completely loaded. Like I've had sealed castles where I go in there and I struggle to come up with 3 things I actually want to take.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely more used to going into sealed castle and being like, man, what do I even take for my 3rd choice? The rest of this is garbage. All right, so as expected, hitting World 3, Karma's going to head straight for Antlion.
The sensible choice. It's on the Path of the Void. easy spot in World 3.
That being said, we'll see what's hiding down in that hole.
I see some GBA translation quotes in the chat. For one of the few parts of the GBA translation I actually really like, the Guido's their 12 legendary weapons speech.
Archaeo Avis an antlion spot, so that's not too bad, actually.
Kind of annoying. Interesting thing here. Dry isn't really using haste. Karma is. I don't think it's a coincidence that Karma's mowing through bosses faster. Speed is the critical stat in Final Fantasy V, and haste doubles it.
Yeah, now there's that game knowledge coming into play. Karma knowing that you can use level 3 flare here.
Yeah, Archaevis has 5 forms. The first 4 are silently switched through and have their own individual health. They all have different stats, different weaknesses. Doesn't quite get the timing on them all, but, you know, not exactly the most threatening fight here.
Again, not quite as quick as Karma took care of him, but Guardian's going down decently well for Dryz over here.
Yeah, Killer Bow coming in really nice. Yeah, as Pyromance in the chat is pointing out, Mage Party struggles a little bit with Archaevis, especially phase 5 here. As this form is, I think, immune to every element, but Bahamut kind of gets past that.
Yeah, Bahamut doesn't care.
Yeah, Null's Fire.
Alright, Dry's heading into Sealed Castle as well with that second tablet. Let's see what he grabs. Also
Great
making a
for
freelancer because, yeah.
I think after the switch to Freelancer, because Dry's got Ranger mastered, so that's a good speed boost, good strength, and equipping a magic ability, which wouldn't be surprised if he goes for White or Summon here. Maybe Giltoss? Image!
Interesting choice.
I think he's thinking ahead for Minotaur with that. While we're talking about that, apparently Karma did get Tablet 4 from wherever that was.
That was Antlion.
Okay, Antlion, which we know Tablet 2 is in World 3 from a hint, so now it does beg the question.
2 and 4 are both World 3.
So if Dry goes for World 3 bosses, he'll skip most of World 1, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Karma's just so efficient here. There's a hint for Trench, okay. Didn't catch that because, you know, so much is happening on both screens here.
Yeah, if this seed hadn't been quite as rocket, we may have been able to keep track a little better, but with both of them here having so many tools available to them, they are just plowing through this. Because of some of those unfortunate stumbling blocks, I don't think we're going to see the fastest seed now, but still going to easily come in.
Yeah, fastest seed would be finishing in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, but I Still think we're going to easily see within the middle of the hour here.
This, especially if Trench was hinted for a tablet or Path of the Void, even. Like if this is tablet 2, Karma's got a sub 2. I think almost no questions asked.
Oh, I can't imagine one or both of these guys not getting sub 2 off of this seed.
I'm curious to see how effective that Freelancer is going to be in this fight, because that does mean that Dry has. Oh yeah, Dry's also got Gill Toss going, so Dry's going to have a much better Archivist.
That being said, I don't know if Dry has Trench Page. I don't actually remember where Karma picked that one up.
That is very true.
That might have been one of the side paths.
I think it was somewhere that was just openly accessible, but in World 1. So I don't know if Dry's going to have that. Here's an interesting question. In Karma's position, do you check the dwarf shops?
I mean, here, might as well.
Life 2, Death Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take maybe an extra minute, but...
And as I mentioned back in X-Death's Castle, Karma elected to go for Float to avoid the damage floors instead of the damage floor ability. I'd probably forget I picked up the damage floor ability, honestly.
Dry heading back with a quickness over to Sealed Castle.
Yeah, he's got that third tablet, so what's he gonna pick up here? Probably just the rest of the Genji stuff and the spells.
Looks like we got Sandworm here. This fight can be kind of an annoying time sink.
Yeah, well, he's got Aqua Rake, so that's something. But yeah, very annoying here. And Sandworm dodges. I hate when Sandworm dodges. It looks like, I think, based on where things were, I think Dry took Phoenix and left the Genji armor, or no, Genji helm.
Okay, so Dry's heading to Trench, so I must have just missed it with Dry's getting the Trench page. Again, this seed has gone so quick and given so much so fast, it's so hard to keep track of everything.
I think Karma's probably got this, got the race at this point, if this is Tablet 2. But one bad Death in the Void
Could change all of it.
And yeah. But the other big thing, like I said, Karma's using haste, Dry is not. And it might not seem like it does much, especially if you're killing things so fast, but the big advantage, the bosses have less time to take their turns. Like, they get less turns, you spend less turns responding to that, like, the advantage compounds more than just twice as much. as mentioned in the chat by Windfox, Minotaur is gonna suck if he's in the void, and I don't think
if he
Karma
doesn't,
has a good answer right now with the current party setup.
if Karma does not change up his team before hitting the void, that is second tablet there, so that is all 4. Karma is in go mode, but yeah, a void Minotaur will just demolish the team he's got right now.
A void Minotaur will demolish most teams, to be honest.
I mean, Dry's team right now would still be decently all right. Obviously not ideal, but at least has, Gill Toss going and that Freelancer decently equipped up, so.
Alright, Dry's gonna sell a bunch of stuff in the Dwarf place and then buy Show It. He tried to, didn't have the money. Giant Axe is a great sell. This is one of the good things. A lot of stuff has high value, and you just don't care about it. The Rising Sun, that's almost obsolete by the time you get it.
For those of you just joining, we have reached the capitalism phase of the race.
Yeah, Karma is definitely planning for Gill Toss for Neo, I think, there.
I gotta be honest, I would be surprised if both racers are not planning on using Gill Toss against Ned.
Oh, yeah, it's so fast. It's ridiculous. I know Dry likes blue magic strategy, but blue hasn't really turned up here. I don't know, no. Level 3 Flare turned up. Mix turned up. We might see Dry's, what is it? That strategy that he showed a while back of raising Neo's levels so that level 3 Flare hits everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting take, but it may not be the best, especially, I mean, obviously, Dry doesn't know quite how tight this race is, but in a tight race, I don't know that that's going to benefit better than a Gill Toss strat.
Yeah, it comes down to how much money they have at that point. It really comes down to how much money they have.
All told, some actually interesting things here in Mirage. Golem was for sale in one of those shops, which can be a pretty good boost to summon ability, especially for a lot. It depending on what bosses show up in the void. Anything with high physical, that Golem's going to be real key.
And I find that the randomizer scales physical damage very high in the void.
Yeah, I think part of it is it's a thing that doesn't just come up much, but I think a lot of void bosses actually do have pretty high physical attack. It's just most of them don't really physical attack that much.
Yeah, that was not a great Mirage.
That being said, Karma's still got enough of a lead here that I don't think that was a waste to check, just on the off chance something good came up.
Yeah, no, with how many bosses he's cleared.
I mean, that being said, Dryz is right on his heels, but still has to get Tablet 2. And then we'll kind of see if Dryz just dives straight for the Void, or if he tries to do a little bit of prep stuff as well.
Yeah, crystals being gone before the Void actually doesn't matter too much.
Chest there. 25k in the chest there in the Void, making Gill Toss strats even more enticing.
Yeah, the crystals aren't really a problem in the Void, are they? No, they haven't really gotten dark matters anywhere, have they? I was gonna say they could, mix some death potions and that's that.
But I mean, again, we already know where Guardians are, and it's not Void, so they were big.
Yeah, it's more just responding to Alistair in the chat saying thankfully the crystals were gone.
Yeah, no, the crystals definitely have some vulnerabilities. They can be... Dry going for a reset there was not set up for the triplets.
Does he have Aqua Rake? I think he does. Also, today I learned you can multi-target float.
I
know you
don't
could
know if you can
multi-target
in
float.
combat or not. I know you can from the menu, but I don't know if it's. I think it might be single target in combat.
I'm not surprised that I learned something from these two.
Okay, getting verification from chat. Multi-target is possible in combat. I've never bothered to do that because most of the time in vanilla, at least, I know what I'm coming in. Oh, that's certainly a pickup.
I'm not sure if there are any bosses left vulnerable to Odin, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
Palafasteri spot Carl. Ugh.
Okay. That's what? Oh, elf level 5 doom. There's the weakness. There's that game knowledge.
It is a good thing that was prepped and ready to go, because that could have been a rough fight otherwise.
Yeah, I do not know boss levels. X magic. That's pretty handy given Holy in the heavy magic team here.
Could be gloriously excessive in X magic Bakhmuts. There's very rarely ever reason to do it, but it's really funny when you do.
Yeah, here goes the Apanda spot. Twintania, another boss with a weakness. Just have to wait 5 turns.
Yeah, near onto vanilla Twintania, actually, not too far from their usual spot.
Yeah, Twintania is scary in a straight up fight. The counterattacks are just ruthless.
Yeah, fortunately, picked up life 2 previously. Just gotta survive it out.
Any boss that mostly uses single target attacks, you can kind of just power through with Phoenix Downs. 4v1. Yeah. Free pickup of Mind Blast. Ouch. Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, that Mind Blast and that Wind Slash are kind of a blessing in that they're not super powerful attacks. Twintania could have just punched somebody to death instead, but we'll see what happens here. Alright, on the charge, get those insta-deaths out.
Wait, is Dry actually going back to Sealed Castle to pick up the other 3 things?
I guess so.
Oh my gosh, we're actually going to see a full looting of Sealed Castle.
I mean, if we were ever going to, this Sealed Castle would be the one.
This never happens. So, Crystal Helm, the best, but another good helm doesn't hurt. Apollo's Harp. No big dragon bosses left. I know Bahamut hasn't turned up, but Bahamut is not actually a dragon according to the game.
Yes, bizarrely.
I had one Fiesta where I actually used the Dragon's Kiss mix on Bahamut just so I could use Apollo's Harp like you should be able to anyway.
And another 20k gil in one of the chests there. Gil toss is just gonna be real painful.
Alright, Soul Cannon at Azulmagia's spot. Going for that save point. I don't know. Do you go for this save point? I tend not to. Just because the fights can be quite tough.
I actually usually go for this spot. Necrophobe is the one that I kind of vary on, depending upon what my state is like.
Yeah, I tend to skip both of these save points here. and instead backtrack after either a Panda or Catastrophe spot, depending on how tough that first fight in that set is. Just go back and save.
I have gotten
Listen.
bad rolls at Twintania spot way too many times.
Yeah, I essentially try to break it down into sets of at most 2 bosses, and if there was a tough fight, I go back and save.
I mean, that being said, if I had the kind of power that they've got in this seed, I don't think I'd be all that worried about the extra boss fight.
I think I would be, just because Minotaur hasn't shown up, and getting stuck in an optional Minotaur fight in the void.
Fair enough.
One of those things, I don't know if these runners are they're probably keeping track of what bosses they haven't faced yet. Soul Cannon dispatched pretty quickly. And the advantage of this save point is that it's right next to the next boss, so you can save again immediately after if you want to. And then after the next one, you can also backtrack without issue. Ah, there's a boss with an instant kill. Kind of for choice here. Yep, Odin. There it goes.
Goodbye, here you plant.
Yeah, Dry seems to still be setting up for the void here. Wait, is he going with a dancer? I think he's going with a dancer. Saw him put the man-eater on Galoof. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong?
Yeah, I didn't quite catch. I mean, we'll tell the first time he gets in a fight, I guess.
Wing Raptor, there's another Odin fight.
You'd love to see a late
Doom
Wing Raptor.
or Break.
It's
so many good
very
options
free.
here. Or show it. There's just so many options. Oh, well,
it gets the
magic
gun
evade.
here instead of the true edge. Oh yeah, I guess people are confirming that Wing Raptor surprisingly is heavy.
Tons of good... Anyway, that fight was not going to be a threat. Now there's just one boss before X-Death. And it's just Gilgamesh 3. I think there's I want to say there's some sort of instant kill or a major strategy available here. Couldn't tell you what it is offhand.
Yeah, that being said, a Greg this late can be kind of brutal.
Yeah,
Because as you saw there, he hits
big advantage
real
is
hard.
he is fast. Very fast. Weak to regular death. Not going for regular death. Oh, there's a try. Smart use of the image spell. Oh no, cure 2? Thought that was image. Perhaps image next turn, which it doesn't matter. Doom.
No need. Gets the Doom off. Meanwhile, Dry is currently checking through Mirage. But as we already know, unfortunately, not really a whole lot of good there.
Yeah. Looks like he's gonna go back to save before X-Death. Smart play, honestly. Even though none of those fights are really a problem, you don't want to go through them again if X-Death goes wrong.
All honesty, I think it's somewhat more about refilling MP than anything else.
Yeah.
Because Cryo is down to 2. So.
And we're going full freelancer here. Mixed skill toss. Does MP even matter at this point?
This is going to be a real quick and real ugly X-Death fight.
Oh, no, mixing time.
Well, yeah, I mean, you still want to get that haste 2 out there.
Now, the notable thing missing there is any way of really dealing with physical damage, but I guess Karma's just counting on just winning.
I guess we'll see how that pays off. I mean, I think it's going to be fine, but...
Try going with an actual chemist. That is slightly surprised too. Does he not have mix? Like, does he have to actually learn mix?
Possibly.
Whoa, Masamune. That's worth
Masamune there also picked up Meteor, which, I mean,
who cares?
I mean, does have one person without Guild Toss on. Shrug.
I take it back. That's better damage on that character. Assuming there's not going to be, like, no turtle shells. There might be some breath attack that's usable here. Oh, yeah. The fireman says, Almagest is a big problem here. I don't know if that's enough damage to beat... No, what it will be. His level boosting during the first phase. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to take the time to prep during TED here.
We're going to see a lot of level boosting, and then we're going to see a lot of, like, 9,000 damage Guild tosses, and then the fight's going to be over in no time. And Life Shield to block White Hole.
Yep, get those up, then bring Lena back up. Just make sure nobody else goes down in the interim.
I thought you had to use a soft first. Today I learned.
Yeah, no, you can do it in either order.
I've beaten this game how many times and I didn't know that? One Dragon Fang for Dragon Power. So Klutz is now going to be effectively level, I don't know, 70? 80?
All. Level all.
Level Tree Melter. And Dry's just going to be making his way through the Void. We know the Void's pretty easy, but if he's missing useful instant kills, he might run into some speed bumps here.
Yeah, the party over on Karma's side is just about maxed out on effective level, so any minute here we're going to see X-Death just kind of disappear.
Yeah, it's... Dry also going for the Soul Cannon save. And level 5 Doom to take out the launchers. That's some game knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad call there either, because that makes this fight significantly easier.
Slightly surprised that Karma's boosting Faris's level, considering Faris only really has Meteor for damage, and that's level independent. I'm also slightly surprised that he didn't take the time to rehaste Lena. Yep, 9s. We're going to
Throwing
see
down that
nothing but
haste too
9s.
now. Kind of makes sense to focus on getting all the effective levels up first before bothering to rehaste.
Waiting for X-Death's attack so that there's no sneaky Meteo.
Yeah, I mean, just all told, like, at this point, X-Death wasn't really going to do a whole lot, so it was worth it to get the level boost mixes out there first.
Alright, so we're going to see 6 Gill Tosses and I think 1 regular attack, and that's going to be
Or
that.
Meteor, maybe?
Just because front part of Neo X-Death has 50,000 health, the next two have 55,000, and the back part has 60,000, so it would survive 6 Gill Tosses with 6 HP, and for style points could potentially be punched to death. A very commanding performance from IBKarma in this entire race.
I think a lot of it has come down to, as you said, just Karma using haste more than Dryz. Because, again, Dryz is not too far behind, but every one of those boss fights being a minute or two slower adds up.
And the other big thing is Dryz didn't have as many instant kills. Like, for a lot of the mid game, you had to fight through those bosses, and Karma was just dead, dead, dead. There it goes. That is time for Karma. Official race time is 1 hour 48 minutes even, which is a very fast time.
Super respectable sub 2 there.
And that's sub 2 on 100% clearing World 2. Didn't quite 100% clear World 3. There was still like Island Shrine, Pyramid, Fork Tower, and almost a full clear of World 1 as well. So
yeah, just about 20 minutes shy of world record. So
yeah, considering there were no tablets for over an hour, that is a crazy time.
Yeah, the fact that everything was World 3 basically.
I'll see if we want to bring. You think Dryz is close enough for waiting for Karma to come in here for talking about the seed, or just bring him in anyway?
Let's go ahead and bring him in, at least for the few minutes it'll take for Dry to wrap up here.
Got what, like 2 bosses left, and then Neo. So probably coming in right around 2 hours even.
Well, less bosses now as he dooms away Ring Raptor.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, a 2-hour time in this randomizer at all is very good. Like, that is not an easy kind of time to get. This really was a clash of titans. If the bracket was set up a different way, this could have been a grand finals match, like, genuinely.
Absolutely, and easily.
It still could be, honestly. Like, double elimination.
Yeah, that being said, keep an eye out, viewers, because we're going to have more matches, more races in this tourney coming up. I believe we have some tomorrow. I don't remember the actual schedule off the top of my head.
Let's reference that real quick. We got one at 10:30 tomorrow morning. So, 10:30 EST, so 10.5 hours from now. And then it looks like there's also going to be 2 more races. Unknown if those will be restreamed yet, or any of these will, on the 24th.
Yeah, so that's going to be the start of sort of the second round, I believe. These are the last few first round races. But yeah, we'll see these get started up. It looks like IB is waiting there, so we should probably bring him in here.
Welcome to the commentators booth, Karma. Congrats on the win.
Yeah, jeez.
GG's. Ugh.
Alright, so first question. You walk into that sealed castle and see nothing but value. What's going through your head?
Actually really glad I grabbed Holy and White 6 before I saw Bahamut. I think if I had saw Bahamut, I might not have grabbed Holy and White 6, assuming I would have got another tablet, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah, there were a lot of interesting choices available there. Getting Freelancer immediately was definitely an option. In fact, Dry actually went back and picked up everything in Sealed Castle.
Yeah, it's one of the best sealed castles I've ever seen.
Well, I knew... Well, see, I think... I felt like I made really good decisions, other than, we ended up with White Mage anyway, so White 6 didn't even matter. But, like, the White
Shortcut to Holy
felt
doesn't hurt.
good. And then with Summon, I picked up the Summon 5, which felt good, because Summon didn't come in. Summoner came real late, I think. Trench?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because I finally got to get rid of my really bad Mystic Knight that did absolutely nothing.
Which is odd, because early on you also had access to a fair number of decently powerful magic swords, but just didn't really culminate in anything.
I don't think I had a high enough magic sword to use it until I found Mystic Knight, and then when I found Mystic Knight, there was just nothing to break.
Yeah, I mean, by the time you got there, the game had already given you so many tools. This was setting up to be one heck of a rocket seed.
Yeah,
The dang bracelet.
insane power level.
See, here's the funny part. Wind Fox would have crushed me in this seed probably by like an hour, because he checks Lonka way before. He checks Catapult, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, so on that, Dry's actually checked Catapult significantly earlier than you did, and had that bracelet going, and you guys actually got into Castle Exdeath right about the same time, all told.
Yeah, Dry's actually entered Castle Exdeath first by a couple minutes, but it really came down to you were using haste. He wasn't.
You wasn't using haste too?
No, he wasn't really. Most of the fights he's done were unhasted. And a few straight up fights, not instant kills. Like,
Yeah,
using
also
instant
just
kill haste matters little.
some purchase and pickup differences as well. That I think you just had overall a few more the instant kill variants in your toolbox than Dry's managed to find. So,
Oh my god. I'm just so glad I remember Gilgamesh 3 was doomable.
Yeah, that was a rough spot for Greg to show up in, because while he's not exactly a complicated fight, he hits real hard and goes real quick.
See, I would have expected him to abuse Time Mage, because Time Mage was real good. I'd skip the Assassin Dagger, okay. I'm okay with that.
Doesn't really help for anything at that point. Like, you were set for Exdeath from almost 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I was hoping for a pair of running shoes, that's why you saw me keep looting the castle. And then I forgot what I got out of one of those end chests, and I was just like, okay, that's good.
Masamune.
Yeah, that was it. And I was just like, yeah, that's good enough. That gives my time mage priority.
Yeah, so all that being said, any other kind of general thoughts about this seed or this tourney?
I mean, I'm real happy with everything we've put together here. It's the first tourney we've had. There will be more. So if you like what you're seeing, join our community. There will be another one at some point, probably, in the future, probably like a fall or a winter tourney. But or even late summer, who knows? But we're really enjoying this, and it's been a blast to do everything, even behind the scenes. And appreciate all the people we have on commentary stuff, guys, because we're such a small community. It's hard to get people. And if you're interested in that side of things, we could use volunteers for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a great community. I've been part of the Career Day community for quite a while now, and it's been nice to see it grow a lot recently, and especially with this new 1.0 release, we finally got the full, feature full release out there, and it's just been really solid. It's been a really good job, and we're glad to see people really starting to pick up on it. So yeah, please, by all means, follow that link that's getting posted by the Randroid there. We have a Discord server that we've got set up, both one for the general randomizer as well as one for kind of the race and tourney stuff. Come on by, drop on by. We're all real kind, real helpful folks.
Oh, that is a possibility. Did he skip Moat and just never get Time Mage Crystal?
I believe so. Yeah, I don't blame him. The moat's not the highest value tech, and it's pretty time
it's
consuming
usually
for one thing.
Yeah, it's usually a skip in my runs as well if I'm going for speed, so I couldn't blame him. But yeah, so he's Dryz on X Death now, so we'll see how it's going to go. Almost certainly not nearly as fast as yours did, but
yeah,
actually,
he's doing turtle shell hay strats. It looks like.
Yeah, he picked up slow. I noticed you didn't have slow, which doesn't matter all that much when you have crazy haste. But when you went to the moat, I actually started saying something that I don't check that because there's almost never value when it's one thing, and it's like before I even get that out, I have to eat my words.
Let's see, there's some checks that I just will not skip. Like if I'm doing a World 2 loot, I commit to doing a World 2 loot. I'm not gonna just skip a mini chest that are out of the way. Now, if I feel like I'm good on loot, which you saw like a lot in World 1, I'll skip the various like town checks. Like I think I skipped the one in Waltz and the one in Crescent. Or no, I didn't even do Crescent. It was Waltz and there was another one I skipped.
Yeah, it was hard to keep track of who was doing what for a while. The beginning of this just goes so fast. And there was always something crazy with this seed. Like,
yeah, I mean, especially with the way this seed was going,
was
the both of you were, yeah, the both of you were just blazing through it so quick.
And I think everybody saw me double take when I beat the Go-Go 4 spot, because I was about to double back because I beat the Go-Go 4, and then I usually double back to the Carbuncle spot after. And when it dropped the big bridge key, I was like, wait. I looked at my hands and I was like, okay, moving on.
Yeah, there was definitely a few times during this where I noticed one or both of you just kind of take a second to register, like, wait, did it really just give me that?
Yeah, I didn't even write down the Moogle suit hint. As soon as I got the Moogle suit hint, I was like, yep, that's my next stop.
Yeah, and what a Moogle village that was too.
I actually didn't feel like it was okay.
I mean, that's the thing that was sort of funny about it was like in any other seed that would have been that Moogle village would have been like, oh, this is the answer. But again, this seed had so much going for it.
Yeah, if I remember right, it had Guild Toss and X Fight. I don't think you used X Fight even once.
No, I'm not a big fan of X Fight actually.
Yeah, Dry used it a good amount.
I don't know why I'm not a big fan of it. I've just gotten to the point where I just don't use it like at all in almost any seed I run.
Yeah, one of the big differences there was early on. It looked like you sold off most of your bows in order to pick up Mix, whereas Dry actually held on to his and therefore was able to pick up and use Ranger. So that was one of the early differences in strats there.
I know Windfox is sad that I didn't bow Zerg. I had the options. I agree with Vaughn. I actually prefer Magic Sword over Excite, or any mage. Actually, just any mage, other than red.
All right, so Dry's coming up on Ned here, and unfortunately he's just missing the sub 2.
This might still be a PB for him. I don't know if he's actually sub 2'd yet, because he hasn't played much on 1.0 that I know of.
Right.
His PB may actually still be like a 210, 215 area.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe a PB, but yeah, it was like, for a while there, we were talking, like, it looked like both of you may come in, like, mid-1 just because of how much this seed was giving you guys, but then that tablet slog was rough.
But appreciate the Karabalos getting level 5 doomed.
Yeah, that was
a
a
real
really
nice,
smart move.
real nice call.
I love how, like, I got it right beforehand too, and I love being able to do that to Karabalos because he's annoying otherwise.
Yeah, it said like a half hour before that Carla Boss had no weakness. I was wrong.
Yeah, the only boss that doesn't have a weakness, like, period, is Titan, really. I mean, some of the Void bosses, but Titan's the only early boss that really doesn't have anything.
And there goes Ned from Dry's side.
Final time 2:01:44, according to racetime.gg, which, you know, very respectable time. Like, extremely.
Absolutely. Here's Dryzalizers. How's it going? Good game, good game.
Congrats on the time.
Ooh. Hey guys.
And there goes Ned from. Hey, welcome. Good race, both of you. That was really tight for a really long while there.
GG's to Karma.
Very respectable time.
I knew this morning when I was practicing that he was probably going to beat me because, man, was I rusty.
I know you haven't got to play much, but GG's that's a PB for you, ain't it?
No, because my earlier my practice run this morning was like 152 or something.
Oh, okay. I knew before the 1.0 patch you were at like a 15?
208 or something. I did on one of those. I forget. I might not have been the featured runner, but one of those community races. But you know, yeah, this was definitely, you know, Karma showed everybody this is not a super easy seed, but definitely can be completed in less than 2 hours.
I slogged for the bracelet. I was when I found it, I had 2 locations left other than Catapult. I had Ifrit and a Panda up in Hiryu Valley that I didn't want to go back for.
Yeah, I went and did a Panda. I think I was decent on following hints, but I was just slow. I had a really slow opening. Like, I don't think I got into my first fight until it was nearly 20 minutes gone by. But it was tricky. I mean, the hints were kind of all over the place, but then they fell together for us later.
Oh yeah, the ending was just like when I beat Gilga 4, I paused because I was like, wait, that's Big Bridge Key. And I looked at my hands, I was like, Trench, Path Avoid. Tool Pass, Path Avoid. Big Bridge Key, Path Avoid. Okay, I'm done here.
Yeah, it was a little rough early on because they didn't seem to connect at all. But you search around and you avoid the meteors and you do okay. That was the first time I've ever gotten a no meteors hint, I think.
I still did.
Yeah,
one.
that was definitely a nice time save for you though. Knowing that you didn't have to go do those, because that's a decent chunk of World 1 just skippable.
I still did Wolf Meteor.
Yeah, and I was wondering whether I might have, you know, gotten something like Mirage Radar if I had actually done a meteor, because they're still really quick and easy to do.
I got Mirage Radar from the Elder Branch.
I think
I
that
didn't.
sounds right. You did a bunch of key item chain stuff and eventually got the Mirage Radar out of it, and then Mirage was a bust.
I think
I did not get the Elder Branch, so.
Yeah, the Elder Branch was somewhere. I think it was on the first check of Steamship, and then the Steamship key was
Ooh.
somewhere.
And if you
Yeah,
went to
it was
Steamship, I feel like I routed better, but you still beat me.
Yeah, no, Karma absolutely went to a number of sort of side paths that didn't really result in much, but obviously in the long run didn't slow down too much there.
Well, I barely even shopped in Mirage, is what's funny, Dry. By then, I was already done and in go mode, and I just went in there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell some stuff. If there's something really good, I'll buy it. But otherwise, unless it's like Odin, I'm not really wanting it.
Yeah, I'd say there were three main factors in the time difference. The first is Karma used haste a lot. Second is Karma never used X Fight, which is good damage, slow animation. And then third is Karma had a bunch of instant kills in the mid game from those extra checks, like going to, I think Surgate came up as a place that he went to that you didn't try, and that's just the entire middle stretch is just bosses were dying in less than a minute apiece, like every single fight.
Did
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I definitely felt the pain of not having insta kills. I had no Shoat, no Odin, no Break Blade for a really long time.
Show was actually at the Waltz Meteor.
Oh, okay.
So I had Shoat really early, and I forgot to use it at first. But it didn't really matter because we had Break Black really early.
Yeah, I eventually found that. I don't remember where, but
It was
I
in
don't think I
either
used it much.
It was either in Lix, Karnak, or Tool, because I didn't do well. It could have been in Carwin or Waltz too. I only shopped like 5 World 1 towns.
I think I spent way too much time checking. I checked almost every town, and it just felt really slow beginning at the beginning doing that. I need to reevaluate my opening, what I do for the first 20 minutes or so.
So as you all can see, even among some of our most experienced racers here, there's still a lot of room to improve in this randomizer. And again, one more time to remind everyone, I hope you all join us, join our community, get started playing. Even if you're not at all familiar with Final Fantasy V, not at all familiar with Career Day, we have a very helpful group. We've got a lot of documentation available, and also just a very active Discord at this point, where people are always happy to answer questions, help out, provide advice, provide guidance, including almost all of the racers you're going to see in this tournament are in there a lot of the time, and can provide some helpful insight, tips and tricks, things like that. So again, that link will pop up again at some point here when the Randroid throws it out there. But yeah, drop by, check us out.
Great, and thanks for doing the commentary and also, trackers behind the scenes and everybody. The small community we have here is pulling together to do this tournament, and I hope it was, an entertaining race for people to watch.
Yeah, so absolutely. One more time here. Congratulations again to both our racers here, IBKarma and Dryzalizer. Thank you again for pointing out those behind the scenes. Freddie for our restream, and Kiglis for tracking that. And I've been Bograt, and No Name. Go ahead and
I've
say
been No
good
Name.
night to these folks. And we hope to see you all again for that next race tomorrow morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time zone it is for you. And again next week as we continue into round 2 of this tournament. Thank you all for joining us.